8 MSUB softball players are now quarantined on campus. Athletes got sick while traveling for games in Canada, Oregon, and Washington. The school chartered a bus to get the team back to Billings, as Riverstone Health recommended against flying. The players are staying in dorms away from other students, but will be delivered 3 meals a day. Coaches and other athletes are self-quarantined at home. Sports both in Montana and nationally have grinded to a halt over the coronavirus fears. MTN's Casey Conlon recaps one of the most historic weeks in Montana sports.
The first known case of COVID-19, known now to all of us as the coronavirus disease, has been traced back to mid-November. But American sports fans will remember Wednesday, March 11th. That night, news broke that Utah Jazz center Rudy Gobert had tested positive, and everything changed. Utah's game in Oklahoma City was abruptly postponed moments before the opening tip, and the NBA season was suspended minutes later. Thursday morning, the dominoes began to fall. The NHL and Major League Baseball followed suit, suspending their seasons indefinitely. The first to affect Montana came from the Big Sky Basketball Championships in Boise.
The conference announced on Thursday morning that the remainder of the men's and women's basketball tournaments would be canceled, as other major college tournaments and pro sports around the United States were taking similar measures as this outbreak continues.
The news was especially tough for the Montana State women, who had already advanced to the championship game. Cats Big Sky Player of the Year Fallon Frigge summed it up on Twitter. Soon after, Montana's frontier schools were hit as the NAIA canceled its basketball tournaments, including the women's event in Billings.
Really, the NAIA is just following suit with what the NCAA has done, okay? Alex Tyson, executive director of Visit Billings, was actually in studio interviewing when her bosses at the NAIA phoned her with the news that it's been canceled.
We understand the decision. We understand it's for the safety of individuals as well as the community as a whole and obviously the region. Nonetheless disappointing, though.
At least 5 Montana teams would have qualified. But through it all, fans still had the high school state tournaments to get them through. Play went on as usual Thursday, prompting this USA Today article noting us as the only state in America to do that. Then, by 6:30 p.m. Friday, PA announcers at the 4 tournament sites read a letter from the MHSA proclaiming there were no positive COVID-19 cases in the state and play would continue as normal. By 7 p.m., that was no longer true. And by 9:01, MHSA Executive Director Mark Beckman drafted a new letter, canceling the remaining tournament games starting Saturday morning. Semifinal winners were named co-state champions. Here is that announcement at the end of Hellgate's boys' semifinal win.
The Billings Sky Falcons boys and the Missoula Hellgate Knights boys as the 2020 Pro Class AA.
The knee-jerk reaction was always going to be anger and disappointment, though teams all agreed later they understood the decision that had to be made for the greater good. Well, the story isn't over. The Big Sky Conference has suspended all spring sports competitions indefinitely. Same goes for the GNAC, which houses MSU Billings. The Frontier Conference is leaving that choice up to its member schools for now, with Rocky taking the lead, postponing spring football drills that were slated to start Friday until at least April 13th. As far as high school sports, the MHSA will hold a meeting later today to discuss the next step for those activities, with competitions set to begin as early as this Friday. Stay tuned on air and online at montanasports.com for the latest info. In the meantime, let's send it back to you guys.